Hello everyone, thanks for coming back to my channel. So I wanted to answer a question by Cody Walsh on YouTube. And Cody wrote, thanks for making these awesome videos. It's cool to hear about the experience you had. I have a question that hopefully you can answer. It came up with a friend and I was just curious. So Disney characters are obviously supposed to only talk about things that happen within the Disney universe. Yes, that is true. Everything else is unknown. But what about crossovers like Kingdom Hearts? Characters like Jasmine were in the video game, so if someone came up to you and asked you a question about what happened in the game, do you guys know the answers? I am so curious. And the answer is yes. And the only reason I knew about Kingdom Hearts, we were allowed to know about the Kingdom Hearts characters because I remember working a Halloween party and the Aladdin coming into the dressing room so excited. He was like, they have the Kingdom Hearts characters here, they have Kingdom Hearts characters, and I was so excited too because my husband used to play the video game at home, and it was like we would both sit, I would watch him play, and I loved the music and the saga and the story and the drama. So I knew about Kingdom Hearts from my husband. I knew the story of him and Kairi, and you know, it was just so fun for me to watch, and I would watch it more like a movie. I am not a gamer myself. I don't play video games. I've played Kingdom Hearts a little bit, but I've much preferred to just watch my husband do it because it can get really stressful, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, and my hands get all sweaty as I'm playing on the controller, and then I die like 10 times, and then I give up. So my husband, he was the gamer, or he hasn't had time to do video games so much lately, but in the past he has been the video gamer in our family. And so, you know, I was all excited about Sora being in the park, and I really wanted to see him, but I never saw him. I'm so upset. So here's some pictures that I'll throw up on the screen that I stole off of other people's websites of what the Kingdom Hearts characters look like, and that main character is Sora. And so Princess Jasmine would have known who he was because, just like you said, they interacted in the video game. But the catch is that Disney did not train us on those characters, so we weren't really familiar. They aren't like a big movie or anything. It's a very niche group who are gamers with Disney. The rumor was that they pulled the merchandise out of the theme parks that was Kingdom Hearts related. They pulled the characters out of the theme parks. I guess it wasn't as popular. Disney felt that that game and all the characters, they weren't as popular as they had hoped because they weren't selling very well. I mean, there could be princesses working at Disney World right now who have never even heard of Kingdom Hearts, and it would be super awkward if a guest were to go up to them and ask them and question them about the Kingdom Hearts characters. So that may be one of the reasons why Disney pulled all the merchandise. I don't know. This is a theory that I have, because they're just like, let's just do away with this so that guests aren't asking about it. I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I personally, I would have known about Kingdom Hearts. I think I would have said something like, oh, I love Sora, he's a great friend, he helped me in a time of need. And I don't remember what exactly he did for Princess Jasmine in the game, now that you mention it, but I remember he helped her, and he helped Belle. I remember that scene. I love that they mixed some of the Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts. I think that made it a little more exciting. But yeah, I probably just would have said, oh, Sora's wonderful. He came to our palace recently and we had dinner with him and Goofy and Donald or something like that. And so that's probably, I would have probably tried to steer the conversation away from the video game. And then what I would have done then is just talked about the relationship that Aladdin and I have with Sora and how, you know, we're friends. And, you know, then just kind of try to be like, okay, next guest, you know, so that's probably how I would have reacted. But we would have been totally within our right to talk about Sora because, yes, he is part of the Disney World universe, even though they did pull his merchandise and all that stuff. So I think I heard a rumor that they were coming out with a new Kingdom Hearts game. I can't be sure, but I'm a big fan of the Kingdom Hearts series, and I'm on my Spotify playlist. I have Kingdom Hearts I have the Utada Hikaru soundtracks of Kingdom Hearts that I listen to on my playlists on Spotify. So yeah, big fan. Yay for Kingdom Hearts. If you are a gamer, or your boyfriend is a gamer, or somebody you know or love is a gamer, ask them if they've played the Disney Kingdom Hearts game. It's a great game. Would highly recommend it. Go play it. So I wanted to answer some more questions, this time from YouTube. This was submitted on August 8th from Alexandra Vivo RS, Nick Alexandro Vivo RS. She asked me, do you think getting a job as a princess on the cruise line would be harder than getting it at the park? When I turn 18, I want to audition so I can make some more money for college. Do I think getting a job as a princess on the cruise line would be harder than getting it at the park? For me, it would have been harder because they did look for dance talent specifically, I believe. It's not just meet and greet. They were really big on movement, coordination, and dancing. I think that's a big part of what they need on the cruise line, because the Princess Jasmines I knew who got hired to work on the cruise line were exceptional dancers at Disney World. They just wanted a change. They were kind of done with theme parking and they wanted to go dance on the cruise line. So it was a separate audition, and they were like some of our top dance talent here at Disney World. They were like up there, and they went and danced on the cruise ship. And I remember them talking about the dancing and that it was a lot of dancing. So for me, I would not have tried to audition for the cruise line because I know what would have happened to me. So yeah, I didn't even try that. When I turn 18, I want to audition so I can make some more money for college. If you are a Disney princess while you're in college, you can make some decent money as a part-time job. Like, I made more than, you know, if I would have worked retail or something like that, being a Disney princess. I mean, you don't make a ton of money. It's not something that you want to retire on, you know, but yeah, you make a decent hourly wage. So I would highly suggest that job for college girls, for sure. Mia Hammaker writes, I am obsessed with this channel. Thank you for being obsessed with my channel. I have always wanted to be a Disney princess, and these videos have made me realize that I totally can. I am so glad. Yes, anybody has the opportunity to be a Disney princess. Now, will everybody become a Disney princess? Well, a very small percentage of girls who audition actually become a Disney princess. So I think it's important also to be realistic when you go audition, to know that the odds are against you. But at the same time that you go in and audition, even knowing that the odds are against you, go in as well prepared as you can possibly be, so that hopefully the odds will be in your favor. So anyway, she says, I have a question. I am just Caucasian, so I could fit the mold for quite a few princesses when I audition. Is it for one specific princess, or do they assign you who you think you would be best for? Does that make sense? And when she says I am just Caucasian, being Caucasian is wonderful. Being black is wonderful. Being Asian is wonderful. So I just want to say that, you know, it doesn't matter what you are. That's awesome. But anyway, but she's saying it because she knows that she could fit the mold for quite a few princesses, because we know that most of the princesses are Caucasian. So that's just, you know, and for the girls out there who write me and they're like, there needs to be more diversity among the princesses. I know, and that's your job to go and talk to Disney about that. I have nothing to do with that. I don't know, maybe Disney's working on it already. I don't know. But anyway, back to this question. She says she knows she could fit the mold for quite a few princesses when she auditions. Is it for one specific princess, or do they assign you who you think you would be best for? You know, I did the more ethnic roles, but my peers, the Cinderellas and the Auroras, when they would audition, casting would decide who they felt that the girl looked like. So if they felt she looked like Cinderella, they would approve her as Cinderella. But then they would also try on the Aurora wig, just in case. If they saw Aurora in her, then they would also put the Aurora wig on her. And so yeah, so they would then put multiple wigs on you and see how many girls you could possibly portray. There were some girls who did like 4 and 5 different princesses because they just had one of those faces that was so generic that you could just change the makeup up a little bit and slap a different wig on her and she would look like that other princess. So, you know, but not everybody has a generic face like that, and I had a specific look to Princess Jasmine, and that was as far as I went, you know, and maybe Pocahontas. They gave me Pocahontas, but if you've seen my What It Was Like to Be Portraying Pocahontas video, you know about that story. But for the most part, I portrayed just, you know, I had a distinct look for a certain type of character. But some girls, they've just got one of those faces that they could be multiple roles, and so Disney cast them accordingly. You know, but then look at my friend Rachel, who's Caucasian, and she had a face for Snow White, and it was very specific to Snow White. She wasn't a Cinderella type. She wasn't a prince. Somebody said that they thought she could be Princess Aurora, but and I think Rachel knows too. We kind of know what they looked for in Princess Aurora's. And, you know, Rachel didn't really fit what they looked for in Princess Aurora. She was more specific to Snow White. So, but I think it's awesome that somebody said she looked like Princess Aurora because, you know, for me, Princess Aurora is the most gorgeous of all the princesses, and Rachel, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful girls that I know. And she definitely, I can see where one would think that. So yeah. But Rachel actually has had blonde hair lately, so I don't know if she's doing that to bring out her inner Aurora or what. But yeah, I guess, you know, I guess I could see it then. I don't know. Rachel would certainly make a better Aurora than I would make Aurora. So yeah, I don't even, yeah, we let's not even talk about that. But yeah, I'd be curious, Rachel, to hear your 2 cents on what you think about with people thinking whether or not you look like Aurora. That would be a good question. I hope I answered that question well enough. So the next question is not specific to Disney Princess, but I'll throw it in anyway just because I see it here listed. It's from Carolyn Martin. She says, "Hi Jennifer, I have some trouble with acne and my parents and I are considering trying birth control. I think I remember you saying that you tried it for your acne, and I was wondering if you could make a video or comment about your experience. I love your videos. Thank you so much." So I have to say, for me personally, birth control, at first I thought it was wonderful. When I first got on birth control, it was right before I got married. I got on it, and I used to have like acne, you know, just bits of acne. My skin was never totally under control. My skin was never terrible though. Like I was always having blemishes at that time of the month, or maybe some random zit would come out and it would just leave a scar there for a while. It was just awful. And you know, it was more annoying than anything. It was just annoying, persistent acne that I had from hormones and being a teenager and whatnot. But when I got on birth control before I got married, I was probably, you know, 20, 21 when I got on it. My skin cleared up completely flawless, and I thought that this birth control was the best thing in the world, you know, and definitely that time of the month was a lot smoother for me. I didn't have menstrual cramping or any of that, and I just thought it was the greatest thing. And there were other benefits to the birth control too. I won't get into it all, but definitely my skin cleared up. And it stayed clear the whole time I was on birth control. However, after a few years of being on the birth control, my breasts became cystic with lumps, and I actually had to have a lump removed, and they did a biopsy to make sure it wasn't breast cancer or anything like that. And I was doing Princess Jasmine. Thank God it was in a place that you couldn't see it. When I realized that the birth control was affecting my health, I mean, breast cancer is not something to mess with, especially at 23 years old. That's when I had the lump removed. I was 23 or 24. I realized, you know what, maybe birth control isn't the best thing for me to be on if it's affecting my health. As soon as I got off the birth control, all of those lumps and cysts that were in my breast went away. So for me, birth control was not good. And I tried a different type of birth control, but my hormones went crazy, and my body just was rejecting the birth control. Like, no birth control that I went on worked well for me, and my skin began to break out and get angry, and I had this horrible acne getting off of the birth control. And again, I did try a couple more different types, and still my skin wasn't clearing up. So I just thought, if my skin's not even clearing up with this new birth control that I'm taking, why should I even be on it at all? I might as well just get off. So I got off of birth control, and my husband and I, we did some other type of birth control that did not require me to be on a pill. And I just decided to let my body do its thing and really detoxify itself. And my skin stayed pretty awful for a couple years. It just seemed like nothing would work to cure my acne. I did do a lot of natural and organic methods because I thought that maybe that was better for my skin, that I do things naturally, but it wasn't until I started turning to drugstore products that I saw a change in my skin. And I was so anti-drugstore for years, but finally I caved in, and I found that the Up and Up products at Target really worked well for me. Clean and Clear really worked well for me, their blackhead scrub, and I've had a lot of success with a lot of drugstore type products. I also had gotten some facials at Massage Envy using the Murad skincare line, and I really did like their line a lot. I thought that they helped. They were not a complete cure for me. I felt like drugstore did better than the Murad line for me, but Murad did help, especially getting the facials, because they would do peels and things at the spa at Massage Envy for me. I went to 2 different doctors, and both of them told me that they see a lot of the breakouts after women getting off of birth control the way I was seeing breakouts, and they told me that pregnancy would help to bring balance to my hormones again. And I have seen that with Ariana, and then again with this pregnancy, that my hormones have balanced out. And I don't know how much of it is the drugstore products, because I was using drugstore just before I got pregnant, and that's when I started to see a difference. But I also know people who have been on birth control and tell me they haven't had any issues, and I'm always skeptical though. Are you going to have issues 10 years from now? Are you going to have breast cancer later in life, like, or ovarian cancer? Like, what, you know, I don't know if it's so much natural for your body to be infertile. Our bodies are meant to be fertile, so you're making your body infertile with birth control, so I don't know how good that can be for you. But at the same time, you don't want to get pregnant, and sometimes that might be the only thing that works for you. I don't know. You've got to talk to your doctor. That's between you, your husband, your doctor, your family, your friends, whatever. But I personally am going to discourage my daughter from using birth control and encourage her to do other methods of prevention. But I don't know, you know, I might feel differently when the time comes. I don't know what technology is going to be like 18 years from now. But as for myself, I can say that birth control was not a positive experience. And I also know somebody else who was on birth control and ended up with breast cancer very shortly after she got off of it. So I'm just not a fan of the birth control, but that's me. That's my experience. Again, everybody's experience is different. If you have been on birth control for years and never had a problem, maybe you want to comment below and say, hey, it worked for me. I use such and such pill. But you know, a pill that works for one person might not work for another person, so I don't know. I hope that answers your question, and I'm sorry if I couldn't help you more, but thank you so much for even considering asking me, and I was happy to tell you my experience. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, a great weekend, a great week. I hope you'll come back to my channel, and it was so great talking to you guys today. And please feel free to comment below, leave any questions or anything else that you want to see in future videos. I would love to find out and hear what you guys want to watch on my channel, because I want to give you guys what you want to see. So anyway, thank you so much. Sending love to you guys. Bye bye.